And welcome back to the Time Machine, race fans, as we go back once again to the year 2003 for tonight's Citrus Soda Southern 250 here at Darlington. I'm your play-by-play man, James Watson, joined as always by my cohort, Victor Aldrich, your color commentary man, and our producer, Carlos Acosta. First of all, Victor, how are you looking forward to this one?
Oh, I'm excited, man. Like you said, the Wayback Machine. We're here at Darlington, one of the crown jewels of NASCAR and of this series, too. So it's exciting to be here and see how many guys can avoid that Darlington stripe and make it to the finish line here tonight. I'm interested about the attrition rate. We'll see.
Absolutely, and we know for a fact that these cars can put on an unbelievable show at this place. Think back to 2003, the iconic finish between Kurt Busch and Ricky Craven as they're absolutely door banging each other, coming to the line. One of the closest finishes in NASCAR history, and hoping beyond hope that we see that recreated tonight. As qualifications have begun, Tyler Fody at the top of the charts right now with a 29.991.
Oh, Borges.
Ryan Borges, new quick time at a 29.974.
Right as I was about to say, the only car to drop into the 29-second bracket, but Borges coming in hot. Let's see what Fody does.
Oh, new quick time. Tyler Fody takes it back with a 29.902. So we're on board with a late Norgard. Big sideways for Norgard off of turn 2, trying to gather it up. I can't imagine that's going to be a good lap for him. As new quick time once again, Ethan Stanley with a 29.858. First one into the 29.8s. What a lap by Stanley. Good Lord.
My screen is on fire from that lap. Whew.
No kidding. This track is already hot enough as it is in the South Carolina sun, and he's just put down the heater of all heaters. We'll see what the rest of the grid has. Can anyone best that lap time from Ethan Stanley? Seen Nick Massey put his way into the top 5 on P3.
Yeah, we do still have sorry, I mentioned Tate Lytle and Mattia Weeks to still go.
Yeah, Matthew Weeks is always one you gotta look out for. Is Justin Wadsworth put up a heater? I believe only the second one into the 8s, but still about a quarter of a tenth off of Stanley's time. What a great lap for Justin Wadsworth. On board with the 46 of Kyle Hanshaw. Now we're looking at Tate Lytle, one of our major championship competitors. See Chris Wright, Scott Crump, and Matthew Weeks on the racetrack trying to put in heaters of their own. Matthew Weeks up into P7. Johnny Thomas puts it in 16th on that lap. Tate Lytle only 13th. That is a surprise. Oh, Johnny Thomas losing it off of turn 2. Well, just barely tapped the inside wall, but that's going to end his qualifying.
Save the crew some extra work here.
Yeah. Matthew Weeks does not go any better on his second lap, so he will stay at 7th. Tate Lytle, a big jump up to 6th. Joey Bailey on track right now. We are on board with the number 35 McDonald's machine.
A packed top 10 right now at the start of this field. I cannot wait to see how this goes.
Absolutely. Bailey with his first lap and his only lap. He's not going to get that second lap in. As we are switching over to the grid, and here is your starting grid for tonight's Throwback Southern 500, the Southern 250. Your front row, the 91 Ethan Stanley joined with the 6 of Justin Wadsworth. On row number 2, we have the 40 of Tyler Fody and the 1 of Scott Crump. Row 3 will feature the 48 of Nick Massey next to the 56 of Tate Lytle. '69 of Daniel Gore and the 11 of Matthew Weeks are on row 4. Brian Borges in the 42 and Chris Wright in the 25 round out your top 10. The 01 of Ryan Gable and the 59 of Caleb McCumer in row 6. Leighton Norgard in the 12 and the 95 of Gavin Higgins in row 7. Row 8 features the 70 of Jesse Racimas and the 22 of David Westergreen. 57 of Dylan Javier and the 4 of Johnny Thomas, row 9. And rounding out the top 20, the 2 of Tyler Pop and the 35 of Joey Bailey, and toss it to Victor for the rest of the grid.
Yeah, here we are in row 11. We got Cale Pocock alongside Frank Fody with a pretty good start in 22nd. 12th row, we got Paul Schmallenberg starting 23rd with David Phillips in 24th. Andrew Hardcastle starting 25th, and Sam Boutwell starting 26th. Row 14, Kyle Hanshaw and Josh Clark. Next row, we have Connor Thompson and Mark Rabilis. Starting 31st, Trent Rohoff. And with no time here, we have Jacob Adams starting 32nd, and rounding out the field also without a time, Kendall Player.
Alrighty, as we see everyone pulling off of the starting grid. This is going to be one heck of a show.
Yeah, hold your breath. Very tight quarters here at Darlington. I don't know if netcode will be much of an issue tonight, but knock on wood, we don't have anything to worry in that regard. Cars will be very close, though.
Absolutely. It's the pace car getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Ethan Stanley will lead us to the restart zone. And green means go. We're underway at Darlington. Good jump from Stanley. Wadsworth trying to hold to the outside as best as he can. We barrel on down into turn 1. Everyone immediately getting as single file as they can. But you still see a good amount of side-by-side racing being off of turn 4 with Weeks and Massey.
I tell you, this just looks right, James, seeing these cars at Darlington.
Amen. There is nothing better.
Beautiful shots here.
See Borges getting around Chris Wright coming off of turn 4. Lytle to the inside of Scott Crump, and he's going to make that pass.
Yeah, huge move early on. Got to get by traffic while you can.
Absolutely. Passing is going to be a premium here. It's not arguably the hardest oval to pass at. You have all this paved space, but only like 3 lanes of it is actually useful, so you don't have a whole lot of room to work with here.
How do you like to typically drive this? A low line entry or the high line? Oh, we got Wadsworth in the wall.
Whoa!
Excuse me.
And there goes Fody jumping to the inside trying to get the pass done. Lytle, big
Looks like
sideways trying to make his move. Lytle's going to be, no kidding, Lytle's going to be side by side with Bodie as they're battling off a turn 4. Wadsworth trying to get his bearings back after that. First one with the Darlington stripe that we've seen is these two, all of them side by side. Wadsworth into the wall once again. Oh, that got super close to the inside of Crump. Whoa,
he doesn't make the high line.
No, he doesn't. He saw big sideways from Massey trying to avoid him as well. Massey going to lose a spot to Matthew Weeks. Try to battle with Daniel Gore now.
During this, Stanley's pulled out 1.5 seconds in front now of Tate Lytle. Just looking at his rearview mirror, got to be thinking, thank you.
No kidding. You saw he had to work for it. Big sideways when he made that move. And now here comes Wadsworth trying to get the position back from Scott Crump. Wadsworth roll in the bottom, but Scott's going to have all that beautiful momentum off of the top side. Excuse me.
Great shot there.
Absolutely is a sail it side by side. Crump with the business decision, giving the spot to Justin Wadsworth. And you know, Victor, you're going to see a lot of that. This is a very business decision-centric track with how hard it is to be side by side in a lot of these corners.
Exactly. You want to make sure you have that gap to fall back into, as Crump did there. Otherwise, you're kind of in no man's land. And do I dive into the corner here on the outside? Or, kind of your options are much more limited if you don't have that gap like Crump did.
Absolutely, and it's just so difficult, so terrifying just to be side by side with someone here, especially in 1 and 2. So you don't typically want to be side by side all that often. So if someone's got a run, you're more than likely just gonna give it to them and live to fight another day. You won't see it a lot of consistent side by side battling until like the last 20 laps to go or so. Then it'll be worth the risk. But right now, nah, fam, you can have it. Let's just ride and survive. As Ethan Stanley is walking away from everyone already with a pretty hefty 2.5 lead over the second place car of Tate Lytle, who's dragging the 40 of Tyler Fody along with him.
Yeah, the majority of the field has single filed out. Looks like maybe a side-by-side battle. Now single file out as well through 1 and 2. But these guys are now finding themselves in the pack, where their speed is, where their pace is, and trying to maybe move up through the field while they have some tire advantage. They also have a lot of guys probably saving tires. May have to consider that too.
Borges to the inside of Daniel Gore. We've seen these guys do battle with each other a lot this season. Hard pressed to find the 64 without the 42 with, or the 69 without the 42 with them, and vice versa.
Now we did see last week at Atlanta, a lot of guys did save tires and kind of come through the field late in the run. Noticing this week a lot of our front runners are at the front of the field and not really saving their stuff. So is there a reason that being? Is it just so difficult to pass that they need to stay up front?
Yeah, and I believe if you've got a lot of natural pace, you can save tire and run out front. Like it's easy for some of the likes of Ethan Stanley, Tate Lytle, Tyler Fody, etc. to be able to do that and stay up front. For me, I don't have that raw pace, so I have to save and just kind of back off and let people go, and then once the run goes on, I can make up those positions and run people down after the fact. So I imagine you'll see a few guys that are wanting to focus on the tire save having to do that same strategy.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, and One thing I'm noticing with Justin Wadsworth, in the wall early on, actually the quickest lap of the race at a 30.120. So despite that, maybe a little aero advantage on the right front, helping him through the corners now.
Absolutely, as you see that 11 car start to creep up. Matthew Weeks with I believe that's a Jeremy Mayfield 19 car throwback with the Mountain Dew. I want to say 2003, 2004.
Yeah, that green is just it pops so much.
Absolutely.
Especially remember when it was on a red car, so it was red and green.
Oh, yeah.
No, this one I believe was green and black. I believe this one is, yeah. So I swear I've seen this paint before. They didn't really employ a whole lot of red with the Mountain Dew schemes, even on the bright red Everham Dodges. In fact, I think I have a Kane diecast that's the inverse of that scheme, green with the black accents.
Ooh, yeah. Love seeing all these throwback schemes in this series.
Absolutely. This whole series, of course, being a throwback in and of itself. Harkening back to some of the good old days of the sport. Speaking
some
to
really
our
good
nostalgia
battles.
hard. Sorry, go ahead, Victor.
No, sorry. I was just noticing there's great battles all throughout the field right now. Everyone's racing really hard and keeping it clean too. It's great to see here in the first 20 laps.
Absolutely, and that's what you hope for, and that's what you're nervous about. With Darlington being such a meat grinder, being a difficult track to race at and manage, that you're worried a lot of cautions, a lot of incidents, self spins, etc. But this is a track where you really don't focus on racing the other cars. You focus on racing the track. As you see side by side, Gore and Borges, they're racing the track and each other right there.
Indeed.
Oh, big sideways for Gavin Higgins, trying to jump to the inside of Borges.
Some Haviland on Haviland action here.
No kidding. Jamie McMurray on Jamie McMurray violence.
I'm noticing it looks like they didn't open up the backstretch grandstands, but one thing about this track I used to love were those backstretch grandstands. I don't know if you remember that overhang that they used to have, kind of like a horse track kind of setting almost. Just so cool to see.
Yeah, and back in the day, the start-finish line used to be on what we now consider the back straightaway. 3 and 4 used to be 1 and 2, and this used to actually be a dual pit road facility way back in the early days.
That's right.
And the back stretch pit road was actually a bit of an advantage. You were able to get back on the track easier. It's interesting listening to my father talk about it as we were watching the Southern 500 the other day. Greatest race in history. Yes, I'm a Chase Briscoe fan. Why do you ask? Anyways, as we see this battle heating up between the 4, the 57, the 41, and Joey Bailey, who's starting to blink right there at the 35. Yeah, it's interesting all the changes this track has gone through while still basically kind of staying the same. Like,
yeah,
you can see a picture of this place from the 60s and 70s and still pretty easily know what track you're looking at. And that's what's cool about this place is it's always a time capsule to the early history of the sport. And this is why it's great that Throwback Week is always here year in and year out, because it allows everyone in the sport to get time to go back in time and get close to the roots of everything, as we see Javier looking to the inside on Norgard.
Now, do you have any opinion on the start-finish line being moved here at this track? Because honestly, I didn't notice much of a difference in the overall racing. Oh, very close off of 2. But, in regards to the starting or restarts of the race, it gives the drivers more room there now through the now 1 and 2 being a more wide-angle corner. But I can't recall the racing back in the day, how it was going into the sharper, older 1 and 2, if it was difficult or caused more incidents. Why the reason for the change?
Yeah, I do appreciate. I'm of the same mindset as you, Victor. I like it being in current 1 and 2 because it gives you an opportunity to battle more. And you always have you're always at bated breath watching them fire it off into 1 and 2 on a restart. They're driving so hard, trying to stay side by side with each other, trying to get that preferred lane on the outside and clear for the lead. And you know that the chance of something going wrong is very high because of that, and how little space they have to work with. And you end up getting some iconic incidents, like you think about the Chastain and Larson get together here a couple years ago.
Yeah, you just are able to keep the foot in the throttle a lot easier with a lot more confidence, even with that bump off of turn 2. There's this, you're a little more wound up with that momentum, as opposed to here in 3 and 4. It's a little more difficult, I think, to go side by side. And that new, being the front stretch the way it is now provides for some very exciting restarts, for sure.
Absolutely. We continue to run clean and green here. Ethan Stanley is still your race leader. Oh, Daniel Gore making a little bit of wall contact. Now he's going to have the 95 to his inside. Oh, Hibbs, big wiggle off of the corner once again. Hibbs trying to fire it off down into turn 3, trying to slide up. Gore's going to hang right there, and he's going to power through.
Wow.
Oh, they're going to be close off of the corner. Gore running low. That made things real difficult for Hibbs. Hibbs lost so much momentum, and now he has to worry about Ryan Borges. Borges not able to make a move. And now Hibbs is going to be able to focus forward, trying to once again get by the 69 to Daniel Gore.
Gap is closing up front as well. Not to shy away from this great action, but Lytle now within half a second of Ethan Stanley.
Meanwhile, I think something happened to Kendall Player. It doesn't look like he turned a single lap so far.
Yeah, he never started.
Yeah, well, that explains it. So, don't know what caused that. Unfortunate for Kendall Player. Meanwhile, pretty big battle between Phillips and the 13, Paul Schmallenberg.
Stanley really searching there on the backstretch for a different line or something. I'm not sure. He dove really down low there. Now getting by Rabilis, putting him a lap down.
Oh, I think Mark got the wall a little bit. It's nervous times for Tate Lytle. And you see, Tate Lytle is running him down. Now Stanley has to be worried about his mirror.
This is a very unforgiving track. It is difficult.
Oh, look at that. Major damage for Sam Boutwell.
Front end damage. Wow.
Yeah, what in the world happened to poor Sam?
Maybe off turn 2 and just didn't bring out a yellow. He was so far to the inside. We'll have to take a look.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's actually kind of hard to bring out a yellow here in Darlington because all that... Whoa! Meanwhile, there's side-by-side contact with Bailey and the 41 of Frank Fody. You see the replay. Yep. Sam loose off of turn 2, gets that inside wall.
Good job, though.
Yeah, he held on to it as after the fact and stay caution free. And yeah, because oh, Stanley hard into the outside wall.
Ooh. Here comes the move.
Yeah, major contact for Ethan Stanley. Now trying to dive to the inside, run defensive, trying to hold off Tate Lytle. Some gnarly contact for Stanley, and Stanley getting a little loose off of the corner. He is feeling the pressure from Tate Lytle.
Imagine Fody, he'll just follow through once Lytle has some momentum. Oh my!
Whoa, what a run! Stanley into the wall again! Massive run by Lytle, and he's gonna clear easily, and here comes Fody trying to send.
I think Stanley has some rear end damage.
Yeah, he's got to have something. That was some significant contact these last couple laps. But then again, I don't know, because I had a league race here with this car a week ago, and I clapped the wall like 9 times, and a couple of them were really hard. I had no damage to speak of. So the car a lot more robust is both getting sideways, Fody and Stanley. Stanley just going to dive to the inside. He's going to pit. Interesting. The strategy starts now. Ethan Stanley.
I'm fairly new here, obviously, to this series, but one thing I'm noticing week to week, Stanley seems to be one to come into pit lane sooner than most of the other drivers.
I'll also point out every single week that strategy has seemed to backfire due to untimely cautions.
Yeah, we're gonna get a caution here. I assume, considering what the data has shown in prior 03 Cup races, poor Ethan has not caught a break on these green flag pit stops.
Yeah, I got all my fingers and toes crossed for him right now that we get a clean green green flag pit stop, so he doesn't have anything bad.
Yeah, and almost getting it there. Norgard up into the wall. Bailey trying to get by. Fody trying to get by as well. And Bailey's gonna clear. Fody gonna try to do the same thing. Norgard's gonna clear Frank though. Now here comes Norgard trying to take the spot back already from Joey Bailey.
Great racing here mid-pack, wow.
Absolutely. See Jacob Adams looking to the inside of Paul Schmallenberg.
He got loose.
That he did. That's going to let Tyler Fody get close. We see Frank Fody having to worry about Paul Schmallenberg, and there's Ethan Stanley on the fresh tires. Oh, there he is! There's a caution!
Oh, there it is.
Oh, Cale Pocock going around. Oh my goodness, it never fails. Once again, Ethan Stanley. Man, he has brought it down pit road, and he is going to be trapped a lap down. Oh my goodness. See.
Wow, way down the track there. What was
that? Oh, and he gets loose in front of right, and right goes right under the 81 of Cale Pocock, sending Cale spinning to the inside. Oh man. Good avoidance by Leighton Norgard. Well, I think now it's a good opportunity to take a breath and take a break, and we will be back. And we are back. As you see, everyone completing their pit stops. Going into turn 3, the pace car is getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn onto pit road.
And just some... Oh, excuse me, Gene.
Nope, go right ahead.
Ethan Stanley is on the lead lap still, so just wanted to touch up on that real quick.
Yes, sir. Ethan Stanley taking the wave around. Meanwhile, the Tate Lytle will lead us back to the restart zone. Green means go. We're back underway at Darlington. Mark Robilas on the inside. Your lap car inside. Everyone trying to get by as Tate Lytle trying to hold off Tyler Fode. He has got all the rear view mirror filled up with Tyler Fode. Fode looking to the inside, and he's going to try to send in, take over the lead of this race. Lytle holding him off. He's going to hang on to it. Fode just hanging back there for now. Matthew Weeks trying to get close to these two as well. So far so good, nothing too crazy right now. Everyone mostly kind of starting to spread out a little bit as though Ryan Burgess may have made a little bit of contact off of turn 4 with the wall. Wow, the sparks from the lower air pressure off of Tate Lytle. Wow, what a view seeing all those sparks. How about that? Tate running the inside lane, probably trying to conserve a little tire that way. Fode running a little higher, trying to see if he can get that run on Tate Lytle. Not going to be able to do it this time, but continues to heat up the rear of that days gone by Kevin Harvick throwback rather.
A little bit of a stack up there off of 2.
Yeah, everyone's starting to line up behind Tate Lytle. You got Wadsworth and Daniel Gore joining the fray. Gore just not that far behind either.
First time on fresh tires since lap 1 of this race, so interesting to see if anyone is able to kind of take advantage of that or now has an understanding of how their car works in different parts of the run and how they want to approach this.
Yeah, and thankfully no issues on the cold tires. Everyone holding on to their cars well as the tires come up to temp. This is a big line of cars. You wonder how many of these other cars right here are trying to conserve that rubber. Doesn't look like Borges is. He's diving to the inside of Daniel Gore.
Maybe caught Gore a little off guard even. Just like, I thought we were going single file here.
Yeah, but it's not going to be enough.
Not today.
Nope. Pulls around, holds on to the position.
It's always funny when you think you're just riding around and then all of a sudden there's that one car that likes to mix it up, you know?
Yeah, and that's typically the car you let go and you're like, all right, go cause chaos. Get me a couple freebies here as we see Matthew Weeks to the inside of Tyler Fode.
Nice move by Matthew there off of 4. See if he can hold it into 1.
Yeah, this is the important. Nope.
No, not quite.
Yeah, tucks back in behind Tyler.
Definitely testing out some, options though, seeing where he gets that run and where he can pull it off. So I think just kind of seeing what he can get away with at this point.
Absolutely. See this second pack of sorts being led by the 4 Johnny Thomas, Joey Bailey right behind. See Smallenberg looking to the inside of Frank Fode as we go off down into turn 1. Frank
Great exit.
yeah. holding off the 13 very well. This battle continues.
Leaders are pulling up on hobbled Chris Wright here pretty quickly, so we'll see. Sure, he'll get out of the way, but unfortunately, Chris Wright with a bit of damage from that earlier incident.
Yeah, unfortunately, not able to get enough of it repaired for Chris Wright. Everyone continues to battle hard. Hardly any separation here for our top 9 at this point.
Yeah, and that makes it difficult for a lap car. You know, if you're trying to let 1 or 2 guys by, that's one thing. But if you're letting by 10 at once, you almost have to stop on the track. What do I do?
Absolutely. You're like, oh, come on.
There you go. You see Chris right now down in the apron in 3 and 4. The leaders are very tight here after completing lap 50. Now coming on to lap 52 this time by.
See Johnny starting to separate a little bit from Joey Bailey. And you know who's joined the back half of that lead pack? One Tyler Pop. We saw him come ever so close to bringing home the win in last week. He had a fantastic run at Old Atlanta, and if there is ever a track that you could say is similar to Old Atlanta and vice versa, it's Darlington. So not surprised to see him back up in the race. Surprised to see him have only put in 19th on the grid, but he's making good on that. He's driven up to be in the conversation here.
Yeah, being very patient and just taking his time. And now join the front of the field here, see what he can do now that he's at the front of the pack.
See Jesse Racimus right behind the 01 Ryan Gable.
Yeah, Racimus looks like he dropped back quite a bit. Did he have a issue with his pit stop, or I'm not sure.
It looks like he had a regular 15-second pit stop. Gabo had a 57-second or 51-second pit stop.
Okay. See if Racimus can get back up to towards the top 15 and battle for a top 10 here by the end of the race.
Absolutely. We had Nick Massey maybe thinking about trying to get by Becumer, but tucks back in. Everyone continuing to keep her green, keep her clean, and keep her green. Only that one caution so far. And I think we're still going to be getting probably a two-stop race here to the end. They went back green with about lap 40, so 144 laps. You're not going to be able to do 70-odd laps on a tank of gas, so you're going to see cars doing two stops. So now the big question is, when do you make that stop? What do you value more, undercut or overcut here at Darlington?
If you're Ethan Stanley, what do you do? I don't mean to give him a hard time, but man, it's just been bad luck there on pit lane.
Yeah.
I would stay out as long as possible.
Absolutely.
Speaking of just checking in on Ethan Stanley, he is in 24th now, about 10 seconds off the lead, just trying to get through some slower traffic, but just very difficult to pass this far back in the field.
Yeah. Plus, he's also probably trying to conserve as best as he can. Plus, he is on a couple lap pressure or older tires, and those couple laps absolutely make a difference here at a place like Darlington. So Ethan on the back foot here.
Actually, quick update.
Stanley actually did pit.
Yeah, he did pit with the regular ice. I don't know how he managed to stay on the lead lap. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. He got the lucky dog. I'm assuming. Is that it?
Oh, you know, that is probably it. So that makes a lot more sense.
Scott Crump back here also in 21st place. Not sure what happened with his run today, but he's also kind of coming back through the field himself.
A 30-second pit stop.
Maybe damage, yeah.
Damage, or do you have a black flag? Wouldn't tell me here.
Now keep an eye on those two, Crump and Stanley in the 20, going for 20th there for Crump, and then about 24th right now for Ethan Stanley.
Yeah, Lord knows that caution definitely shook things up here.
Yeah, that was probably a damage, like pit stop. Like I don't see him having a black flag.
Oh! Bit of chaos off of turn 2 with Crump, Racines, and David Westergreen trying to take advantage of it.
They are not making it easy back here for him.
No, they are not.
Top 3 separating themselves a bit. Got Lytle, Fody, and Weeks now. Coming up on a bit more lap traffic, but Wadsworth, Gore, and I can't see who's there in 6th.
That's Ryan Borges.
Great run for Borges.
Yeah, Borges has been consistently up in the top 10, fringe top 5 all season long. Did bring home a podium earlier in the season. Ryan has had a fantastic start to the season in one of his first seasons here at the Elite Racing Leagues. Just fantastic run of form for Ryan Borges to start off with as he continues to heat up the rear of Daniel Gore's 69 car.
Oh, look at that. Off turn 2, we got Weeks going for second on Fody.
Yeah, it's been brewing, and he got the pass done. Moved Matthew Weeks up into P2. And now, Mr. Where in the heck did he come from? Trying to see if he can run down Tate Lytle.
Fody had a moment.
Yeah, and it cost him that P2, unfortunately. This is still the closest battle we have on the racetrack right now. Oh, I stand corrected. Here's Hibbs and Joey Bailey battling for position. Hibbs going to clear, but Bailey may be trying to take it back, but tucks back in line. As there's Ethan Stanley trying to see if he can get by Jacob Adams. Continue his march up back towards the front. What a run! Oh, almost contact off of turn 2. Oh, that got so close. Stanley looking to the inside as Scott Crump goes side by side with, I believe, is that the...
It's Hardcastle.
Hardcastle.
Love that hot tamales paint scheme.
Yeah, it tripped me up a little bit. Looked very similar to Paul Mikolajczyk's car, so I'm like, wait, Paul's in this race?
Yeah, but great shots. Making my mouth a little watery.
You see David Westergreen trying to follow Stanley past Jacob Adams.
Oh, sideways. Oh, Bohr just saves it off of 2. Close call.
Wow.
Ryzen has
Everyone
elected
just...
to take his car to the garage. So he is currently joining Chris Wright, Sam Boutwell, and Kendall Noah player, who actually Kendall Noah never started a lap.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Whoa, big sideways for Ethan Stanley. My goodness, he made the move on Ryan Gable and then just hung the rear of that car out.
Gotta drive very aggressive back here.
Absolutely, it's not going to be good for tires. You see, right when that was... Maybe, I guess more was the right lap. Maybe he just wasn't as sideways as I thought he was. Oh, no, I was right. Yep, I saw that.
He was pretty sideways. Hey, listen, never doubt yourself.
I don't know about that. Have you talked to me? Anyways, yeah, it was a heck of a save by Stanley there. You saw he got into the wall a little bit. That's what got the rear of that 91 to step out a little bit.
Start overcorrecting a bit and already on the gas, you know, it's just... These cars, it's easy to go sideways, especially when you're in the wall like that.
Absolutely.
Even in a straight line.
That's the thing about this car is that, you know, you're having to make corrections on the straightaway as Stanley looks to the inside of David Phillips. Stanley got the wall again. Phillips trying to take the spot back. Stanley holds the outside and he's going to hang on to it.
I'm seeing a lot of cars having trouble off turn 2 here, all throughout the field from the front to the back, and it's just a matter of time, I think, before we lose someone off of 2.
Absolutely. Gable and Western Green battling. Adams trying to get past Clark. Oh, here comes Gable to the inside of Jacob Adams. Adams holding off Gable, trying to jump to the inside of Clark while he's at it, but everyone's staying single file for now. Oh, Johnny Thomas bit sideways off of turn 2. You know, there might not be a single more terrifying corner on oval racing than turn 2 at Darlington, because you're carrying a lot of speed out of that corner, and you're basically just having to kind of guess right, dive it down, hit the apex, and it's got like a hump on the exit, so you're basically kind of getting shot up towards the wall, and the car is just getting light, and it just feels like a massive guessing game, like you're playing a game of Russian roulette.
Indeed.
Hoping that you got the car turning and you're not going to absolutely plow the wall on exit, or worse, just spin off down into the inside.
Yeah, you have to fully commit to it, regardless of how you know it's going to turn out. Very hard to predict how it's going to turn out once you get over that hump. You know, whether you need to turn a little more to the right to overcorrect for the slide, or, you know, or is that going to put you in the wall? It's, you know, it's a big guessing game.
Yeah, you're basically driving it by faith, honestly. As Western Green starts to pull away from this battle. after making the pass on Clark. Is one of the closer battles on the racetrack. No, Tate Lytle got a little loose off turn 2, but was running the inside down the back straightaway as Matthew Weeks starts to inch closer and closer to the rear of the 56.
I've almost seen a few guys run similar to, like, I would call an IndyCar style line down this back stretch where they cut back into the inside a bit and then back to the wall before they get to the entry to help them get through turn 3.
Yeah, you notice that too, huh? I tend to do the same thing here.
Yeah.
I don't typically do that at many other ovals, so it's interesting how you tend to do things at this place.
And it gives you that extra real rotation to get into that transition, I think, and definitely helping for a few guys, but maybe not something you want to do every lap and keep those tires a little cool.
Absolutely.
Just be like, oh, I meant to do that. That was the IndyCar line.
Yeah. Western Green getting closer to the rear right gable.
Yeah. Looking for a way by.
As you see Western Green side by side with Dave Phillips. D West gonna get the pass done going into turn 1. Whoa, this is a big battle. Hardcastle, Pocock, and Clark, they're all sorts of close.
Weeks down pit road.
Oh, very interesting.
Just when you hold your breath if you're the 11.
Yeah, I don't want to get Ethan Stanley here. We continue to watch this battle between Hardcastle and Pocock on the top screen. Hardcastle getting a little closer to Kale as Matthew Weeks completes his stop and is about ready to re-enter the racetrack.
Yeah, Wadsworth closing up on Fody for a second also. That's big for the pit stop cycle. See if Fody can maybe make that, or I mean, Wadsworth can make that jump here during the pit stops if he tries to go over or under.
Danny G down pit road.
Yep, Daniel Gore making his way down pit road.
Having a great run today in that 69 car.
I would say a very nice run so far.
A nice run.
Haha. And you know, this is interesting just watching if we do get a full round of green flag pit stops. You know, this is one of the hardest pit road entries to navigate.
Yeah.
Because you basically got to start entering in turn 3, you know, kind of be under the apron and then make a hard, like, late apex left down.
Battle for second place.
Oh, Schmallenberger almost crashed off a 2.
Yeah, that's nervous times for our pitters.
Oh, and then Weston Green almost off a 2. I'm seeing all sorts of cars here.
Yeah, and David Phillips was also slow off of the corner as well. Oh, once again, real nervous times for our guys that have pitted.
Mentioning the pit entry, though, and the pit exit, it's very difficult here. And then there's those that know how to do it just right and do it just right every time.
Issues for Joey Bailey.
Joey, oh no.
That car is major front damage. He is missing the front of that 35 car. What
Bouncing all
happened?
around.
Lucky for our pitters, no caution, but a tough break for Joey Bailey as Leighton Norgard brings the 12 down.
I bet those that know how to do pit entry and exit just right, though, could probably make up about 4 to 5 seconds alone in one sequence.
Meanwhile, you saw some of the new tires come up on some of the old tires with a high rate of speed, almost causing calamity in the center of 1 and 2.
Oh my goodness.
So here comes Daniel Gore trying to make hay with his fresh tires. But yeah, and another thing you have to keep in mind is that you have that yellow line there on entry, and you have to be to the inside of that yellow line. Otherwise, you're going to get a penalty for unsafe pit entry. And it's hard to see that line sometimes.
Yeah.
You think you got it until you don't. And
the car really tightens up.
And it can also loosen up too because of how hard you're having to get onto the brakes going down onto the apron, the low grip apron, and we see a lot of guys spin and having to go around and just losing so much time. We saw that happen quite a bit in last week's Southern 500 for the Elite Belly Up Cup Series. So, knock on wood, so far haven't really seen that yet.
Yeah, everyone doing a great job.
Leader pit road.
Absolutely. Oh, there's Tate Lytle.
Oh, we got a car in the wall off too. I'm trying to see who it is. Looks like it might be the Hot Tamales 38.
Yeah, he just got a meatball flag. Oh yeah, that car's killed.
That hard castle. Big damage.
Hard castle with hard contact. Oh, and a little bit extra.
Yep. He might have got a pit crew member there.
Yeah, unfortunate for Andrew Hardcastle as Joey Bailey retired from the race with his damage.
Still a decent amount of cars out there yet to pit, but I know that a lot of cars coming down here as we speak.
Yep, you see Paul Schmallenberg bringing it down to the attention of his pit crew. Ryan Borges bringing it in.
At the front specifically, Tyler Fode's still out on now 54 lap old tires.
Yeah, it is an interesting strategy. Definitely going for overcut, but it's a risk. He's going to lose a lot of time doing so. There's Tyler Pop. Johnny Thomas continue to circulate the racetrack on the top screen.
Yeah, Thomas having a great run. He's been in the top 10 for most of the day.
Tyler Pop down and away. Good stop for the two.
Frank Foley down pit road.
Yep, Frank
here it is.
As we've reached the halfway point in tonight's race just a couple laps ago.
No. Yachi, no, yeah, you're right. I read it backwards.
Norgard and Stanley side by side.
Yeah, real close with those guys off turn 2 a moment ago. Looks like maybe Stanley got the wall again.
Yeah, Ethan Stanley wait to bring it down the pit road. I can't imagine why Ethan Stanley is trying to stay out now. And I don't know why he wouldn't bring it down earlier. Totally no issues with that, I am sure.
Just overheard Frank Fodi may have been penalized.
Oh, that's going to be our freaking 41 as we see D West on pit road.
Can confirm he did get a penalty. I don't know what the penalty was for. It wasn't speeding into like pit lane. If it was maybe a commitment line or possibly speeding exiting pit road.
And it looks like Andrew Hardcastle has retired from the race.
Yeah, unfortunate for Andrew. He was having a great run tonight.
I'm definitely going to get some hot tamales next time I'm at the store, that's for sure.
As Ethan Stanley looking like he is going to bring the 91 down. He is.
Oh.
Tyler Fodi continues to stay on the racetrack. I am trying to understand the rationale here from the race leader.
Yeah, Lytle just got by to get his lap back.
I don't think he's going to be able to stretch it to one more stop. I mean, he's going to get himself a massive overcut advantage, but the overcut is a lot riskier to do here at Darlington just because of the delta from new tires to old tires is so vast.
Yeah.
That the undercut gains you so much time, and even though you're going to have so much fresher tires, you have a... Oh, and he is in finally.
And you also have the risk of, caution coming out or, just it's... The overcut is a lot more difficult at a track like Darlington, I feel.
Yeah.
Because right now he's basically hoping for the race to go green the rest of the way and get that advantage of the tires at the end.
Exactly. And he's probably going to come out, I don't know, maybe 14th or 15th. Probably half a track behind Tate Lytle. That's a lot of distance to cross. And you're not going to have a whole lot of time until you're going to have to pit again. So for Fodi, you're going to probably have to run this sit pretty hard and bring it in a lot earlier than you did this time. But
yeah. He went 62 laps on that fuel tank, and we are just at lap 101. So take that into consideration as well.
Absolutely.
So that will complete the our first green flag cycle of the race. Your current race leader is Matthew Weeks. Daniel Gore in second place. Just about, well, actually just getting passed by Tate Lytle. Tate Lytle with fresher tires, of course, by about 7 laps. And then Tate Lytle has about 9 lap fresher tires than Matthew Weeks. So he's going to be getting him down about 3 3/4 seconds behind your race leader. 4th place, Justin Wadsworth with Ryan Borges. Currently in 5th. That's your current top 5 after the cycle.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it's great out there right now. We got quite a variety of, not even strategies, because everyone's on the same strategy, I would say, but just cars pit a little earlier and later than others, and so you are seeing that tire variation come into play here.
Yeah, and now this is, as we see, Stanley heating up Tate Lytle, trying to get back on the lead lap.
Also just noticing Cale Pocock unfortunately has retired as well here today. few cars here already out of the race. I'm noticing Cale Pocock, Andrew Hardcastle, Dylan Javier, Joey Bailey, Sam Boutwell, Jesse Racimus, Mark Rabilis, Chris Wright, and also we had Kendall Player with the did not start.
Yeah, Darlington has claimed a few. The lady in black, she's got some violent tendencies. We see Stanley getting past Connor Thompson. Whoa! Big move for Jacob Adams. A heck of a save by the 88, holding on to that race car just barely. My word. You see Matthew Weeks there entering turn 1. Stanley getting close to getting that lap back.
This is a battle for the lucky dog, by the way.
Oh, that is a good point, Carlos. And give the lucky dog to Ethan Stanley.
Crump also flying here right behind these two on fresh tires, so that battle for the lucky dog will continue.
Now, we know we get cautions when Stanley pits early and he's a lap down, but what happens if he pits late and it is a lap down? Do we still get that caution?
That sounds like a riddle. Nursery rhyme.
Big, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, Crump now by Adams as well. Now looking to get by Ethan Stanley for that first car a lap down as they're right on the back of Matthew Weeks as well. They'll probably get the lap back organically, the old school way.
Absolutely, and there he goes. Crump will make his way by Matthew Weeks as well. And those two back on the lead lap.
Yeah, running very quick lap times right now compared to the leaders on much older tires, but by about a second a lap quicker. I just overheard here. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was in fourth place.
Yeah, we just saw him. What happened to Gavin Higgins?
He got a black flag. Oh, wait, no, sorry. He got a black flag for entering pit road. Honestly, it just looked like maybe something in real life is going on, or maybe he has another event he has to go to. Does it look like he hit a time and it's like, all right, guys, my time is done. I gotta go.
I must go. My people need me.
Lap 109, he was in the wall pretty hard all the way through turn 2 and maybe suffered quite a bit of damage. Yeah.
And the lady in black claims another one.
Yeah, and he just sped through the pit entry and called it a night.
Yeah, it's been a rough season for Gavin Hibbs. He's had the pace, but he has not had the luck. Taken out in several races where he was running up towards the front in some way, shape, or form. This Jacob Adams looking to be the next one to get by Matthew Weeks to get back on the lead lap.
Just ahead, Crump has got around Stanley, which is a little interesting, you know, just for track position. As Adams to the high side, he's going to get that spot.
Indeed.
Oh, Weeks really lifting through 1 and 2.
Yeah, whoa! I think Seamus might have got the wall a little bit as well.
You mentioned earlier, just kind of pick and choosing your battles there, and I think gave way to the much quicker Racimus there. But definitely lost a bit of time as Lytle now only a second back.
We're looking at Daniel Gore. There's Ethan Stanley getting by the 01 Orion Gable. As Crump and Stanley continue to make their march back to the front.
Checking on Tyler Fody, stayed out really late on that last run. Currently running 7, so up about 5 spots from when he came out of the pits. Running a 31.0 that last time by, or now 31.5, excuse me, so maybe he had a little issue that time, but definitely quicker than the front of the pack. See if he can track him down, but I'm not sure if this was the right pit call. What do you think, James?
Yeah, I think you're pretty spot on with that there, Vic. Obviously, a lot of time, anything can happen, but it's not looking like the greatest right now.
Yeah, probably need a caution to close things back up again.
You see D West in a pretty big battle here between him, Clark, and the forward Johnny Thomas. Thomas looking to the inside of Clark. Westergreen trying to follow Johnny through, as here comes Daniel Gore and Kyle Hanshaw right behind them.
Paul Schmall for going down pit road.
Oh no!
Oh, he has damage to the front end.
Big heartbreak for Paul Schmallenberg. He was having a great run so far, but that is significant front end damage. He's completely lost that front end.
They talk about the Darlington stripe, but I tell you, that inside wall needs its own nickname too.
Yeah, that's a Darlington stripe of a different version, unfortunately, for Paul.
Yeah, so in the wall.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh.
Big contact. Oh,
I was
bounce
done
off
at a
right in front
caution.
of.
Wow.
I know, right? That's the thing about Darlington, because the apron is so big. It's kind of hard
track.
to get. I wouldn't say it's a legacy track. It's fairly updated, but it's more so because of the fact that the apron is so big. iRacing caution logic is set to really only focus on things on the actual racing surface, and because the racing surface is so narrow, it just doesn't register as that being caution worthy.
And my apologies here, James. We have had some really interesting racing here at the front of the field when we were talking. See Matthew Weeks now back to second. Not happy with the way he was being raced by Jacob Adams, who was trying to maintain his spot on the lead lap. Adams racing very hard here, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold off Lytle. Matthew Weeks, though, not happy with the way Adams was racing it.
Yeah, and I think the fact that Tate Lytle got by is a pretty good reason on why he's unhappy.
Yeah, struggling a bit on older tires there is Weeks, so also has to take that into account, consideration. But inside almost contact
with the leader. Lord have mercy.
Weeks has got to be careful here.
That's our UPS package that Tate Lytle wants to receive.
Wadsworth looking low. Weeks doesn't have a chrome horn, but that green bumper might be... yeah, he gave him a little bump on the straightaway. Up the track. Oh.
Tate's just loving this.
Wow. Oh.
More
There we go.
Weeks
As
spinning into
expected.
the inside, and we got a caution. Weeks hard into the inside wall. That 11 car is toast. Oh man,
Oh,
if
yeah.
Weeks wasn't happy
Oh.
before, he's not happy now. Oh my goodness.
You
Saw that
hate to see
coming.
that. I am not gonna go
boy.
and I'm gonna see what the 11 does.
Yeah, we'll see what Wadsworth has too, if he has any damage getting into the 11 a bit. Definitely made some contact.
Wow.
Yeah, everyone kind of saw what was happening there. It's a real shame, and well, it looks like Weeks is not going to do anything. Just going to take it down Pear Road, maybe get that car repaired. So let's go ahead and take a look at the replay.
See these two fight hard side by side. Weeks slides up, and they both end up in the wall basically, and the energy just goes of the wall hit goes through the 88 down into the 11 and sends Weeks careening off into the inside wall.
Yeah, he just did not want to lift in that situation. Very frustrated and just kind of ran out of room and caught that left quarter panel.
One thing for
Alrighty,
sure
well,
is that the drivers can't complain about lap down vehicles because of a restart procedure. I think that would have happened regardless of a restart procedure was different or not.
Indeed.
Yep. Well, we're going to take this opportunity to take a breath and take a break, and we will be back.
Actually, we'll take this opportunity to do an ad read. So yeah, let's give a chance for the commentators to relax as I go ahead and talk about our Premier Series sponsors. Starting it off with Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pit crew. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand towards victory lane. Don't spin your wheels. Accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big. Guys, we got one lap to go before we go green.
Oh, baby. See everyone trying to catch back up to the field. Wow, it's a lot of lap down cars there on the inside. Oh, and we also going to have, I believe, a lap car leading, and it's going to be one of those restarts.
Oh boy.
Josh Clark is going to be the technical leader of this race, as he's going to try to scoot away and hold on to the lead lap.
Also, Josh Clark, last one down Pear Road on lap 87.
Oh boy.
This is gonna get spicy.
Well, pace car makes a hard left-hand turn on a pit road. Josh Clark will lead us to the restart zone. Greening's going. We're back underway at Darlington. A little bit of wiggle from Josh Clark as Matthew Weeks dives to the very inside of the track. I think that 11 car might be done or has some sort of significant issue. As Tate Lyle going to try to get by Josh Clark. Take over the official lead of the race. Here comes Gore to the inside. Pecumer going to follow him through as well. Oh, a little almost contact between Pecumer and Clark. Oh man, this continues to wage on. See side by side Frank Bodie and Tyler Popp. Pop's gonna clear.
Sideways, we had a crash in turn 2.
Oh,
Saved
big!
it.
Yeah, what a save
Wow.
by Ryan Gable. Oh
Wow.
my lord.
Oh, too soon.
Woo! That
Nice save.
was, yeah. Boy, howdy, that was terrifying for everyone right there.
Cody reporting damage on the 40 car.
That's gonna be a massive upset to how this race will unfold.
Looks like he's up to speed pretty good, but maybe having a little trouble in the corners with handling.
Meanwhile, up at the front, Tate Lido is just, well, he was mostly pulling away from Daniel Gore, but lately these last 2 laps it's kind of like evened out a little bit. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at the lap tracker is showing us for the top 3, and oh, actually it was the opposite. I thought that Tate Lido was pulling away from Daniel Gore, but it looks like now he is starting to pull away.
Yeah, but great run for Gore hanging in there. Great run for a lot of guys right now too. Pecumer, Norgard up in the top 5. Nick Massey qualified top 5 and is hanging in there. Tyler Pop, one of the biggest movers of the race right there in P6.
The field is mostly single fault out here for these last 52 laps. As fresh tires, single fault restart. A lot of the drivers were stuck 1 lap down. We only have 14 drivers on the lead lap, so not too many people are out here still like giving it the full beans throughout the corner as we had in the beginning of the race. As the 14 drivers we're seeing out there on track now are probably just going to be trying to save as much as they can for that final little stint there, and maybe try to pass as many as they can there at the end. Although once you spread out like that, it gets harder and harder to pass. You see Johnny Thomas and a couple of these guys were going 3 wide there at the exit of the corner. Actually,
Wow.
excuse me, Ethan Stanley, not Johnny Thomas.
Very close call there off of turn 2.
Absolutely, as we have 50 laps to go left in this race.
Yeah, these 50 laps are going to go by really, really quick. It's about 25 minutes left of racing. As Tate Lido continuing to slowly pull away from Daniel Gore. Was about 0.3 of a second, now about 0.4, actually almost half a second up over second place. But Danny G trying. I talked to him a little bit earlier before the race began, and he seemed excited. He was excited for this race. He was close last week, and it looks like he's close again this week. Question is, does the Brit have anything there for Tate Lido? Can he catch up there at the end, or is Tate Lido going to cruise into his first victory of the season, in which he didn't get wrecked in the beginning of the race?
That's a very good point, Carlos. Didn't even stop to consider that one.
I don't even know if he's put a fender into the wall yet here today at Darlington, so one of the few to keep it clean and at the front. So can anyone take down the 56?
It's going to be hard.
Go on board here with Tate Lido for just
Yeah.
a little bit and see how he approaches the corners. Goes through the start-finish line right now, and is he going to take a kind of low entry in the beginning, immediately starts stepping up high to riding the outside wall in 1 and 2. Not afraid, doesn't get full throttle until right about now, even though he was on throttle for the majority of it. Starts slowing down for turns 3 and 4, a little bit of brake, hugging the inside line, trying to stay down as low as possible. Get throttling off here, and gonna cross start finish line for another smooth lap for Tate Lido here.
There's very much a road course feel to a track like this, you know, even though it is an oval, obviously, you do have lines and apexes and marks you have to hit. So in that sense, it is very different than a lot of ovals where it's lifting and kind of coasting through the corner. Here, you're really driving the track.
Absolutely. You know, you gotta just be so smooth and so precise, and road racing takes precision. So being able to hit your marks precisely is the key to victory here. Otherwise, you will precisely plow the wall.
Ooh, like the 48 almost did. Almost did the
Whoa,
2.
yeah.
Almost did the 42. A couple of these guys, especially when you're like fully involved in a battle and you're following the guy behind you, and one of these guys hits the outside wall, it's an unfortunate case of monkey see, monkey do.
It's easy to follow, yeah. And with these cars too, it's, you know, they mention it all the time in real life how hard it is to see around the car in front of you, and you don't see that wall. You're just kind of trusting the car in front of you that they're running the right line sometimes, and you can get kind of that red mist a bit and start trusting them too much even.
Like Massey to the outside of a Leighton Norgard with a power move there on 3 and 4.
Yeah, what a run.
Yeah, great seeing a few of these guys up front that we haven't seen too much of this season, like Picumer. Seeing Massey having a great run. It's like this top 10 is all set for a great finish here in the last 40 laps.
Absolutely.
These last couple laps, Nick Massey has been running some of the fastest laps of the race, the current pace speed. Nick Massey might have something here for Tay Lotto as he's constantly been running faster lap times.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
yeah, even in traffic.
You know what's something that we haven't done in quite some time? I think we need to bring the noise. What do you think, Carlos?
I say let's go for it. Let's go ahead and bring up that noise.
All right, and we are back here. Another great Bring the Noise. Love hearing these Gen 4 NASCAR on the high banks at Darlington here. Final 35 laps now. See who has anything for Tate Lytle. Daniel Gore running second and Caleb Pekumer in third. Massey and Crump rounding out the top 5. Massey looking for a way by Pekumer. Definitely has pace. Meanwhile, the rest of the top 10 has drifted back a bit as Leighton Norgard actually got the wall there during our little break and has cost himself quite a few positions. See Crump even getting the wall there in 5th.
I also saw Stanley hitting the wall as well.
Yeah, for some of these guys, you wonder, is it part of their plan to maybe get the wall, help with a little momentum through the corner, or I don't know if you ever want to touch it. And personally, I would stay as far away from it where it even cost me time, but these guys really running close every lap, getting the most they can out of this track.
Absolutely, and that's why we always see the Darlington stripe, and that's why it's popular, is because running that wall is so much faster, but it's so sketchy. But you see, it's the place to go to make speed and to make passes. It's so much easier to make the pass and to bend running that high side. At the very least in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, it tends to vary, because it just feels so much more narrow just with how you have to round off the corners on entry and exit. You're always feeling terrified having to make any sort of pass or side-by-side racing through 1 and 2.
Yeah, just like, please lift, please, please. I don't want to be the one to do it. It's like a game of chicken almost, I see off of turn 2, Chris Wright still trying to get by Pekumer, holding real close, but Pekumer just kind of blocking the line with that dirty air and preventing any real run from the cars behind him.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job holding on to that P3 with Nick Massey giving it everything he has. As Crump also joining this battle.
Apologize if I said Chris Wright. Yeah, Nick Massey there in 4th place. Yeah.
So far, a fantastic run for Scott Crump. We've seen him have some terrible luck this season. Been involved in a lot of different incidents, but so far he is doing a great job getting up here into the top 5, looking for P4 to the inside of Nick Massey.
Big move there late in this race, 30 to go.
Yeah, he will get the spot on Nick Massey, move the 1 car up into P4. Massey looking, maybe he wants to try to look to the outside, but he's going to stay behind the one of Scott Crump.
It looked like earlier, like Massey had really great speed, but it could have just been him burning his tires, because lately his speed has dipped to being one of the slowest of the top 5.
Yeah,
lap traffic getting into the wall just ahead of Daniel Gore. Exciting moment for those two.
No kidding.
We got a battle here.
Yeah, Borges and Pop. Oh, barely any space between these two.
Not given an inch, and Wadsworth really quick behind these two as well.
Yeah. Meanwhile, just took a look at the timing tower, and Tyler Fody all the way back in like P14.
Oh, Crump almost lost it off too, sorry.
Nope, you're good. Yeah, wild to see the 40 car that far back, but things have really unraveled for Tyler Fody.
The 11 here making the most of it, though. I mean, considering the damage he had, stayed on the lead lap and very off pace, but gonna end up with a much better finish, I think, than he may have thought he would come away with after that wreck in turn 2.
I'm sure some words will be exchanged on the Discord, maybe even the Twitter chat, due to the actions of essentially what happened there.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
we were speaking earlier. I don't remember if this was said during Green Flag Racing or during the broadcast, or if this was pre-broadcast, just chatter. But one of you guys mentioned about how Matthew Weeks was predicted to maybe win tonight's race, and about how he's one of the smoothest and consistent drivers in the league.
Yeah, that was I think, very big point of conversation, before the race with a lot of the drivers, even thinking Weeks would be the one to win here, and definitely showed the pace midway through the race. And fortunately, I think with those older tires, just some frustration boiled over. And I think if he could look back at that moment, cooler heads could prevail and take his time. He might be still battling for, if not the win, definitely a top 5 here.
Absolutely. Just unfortunate run, turn of events for Matthew Weeks.
And it happens even to the most calm and smooth of drivers. They can have a bad race or, have an incident that's out of their own control even. Like, just things can happen. And that's kind of the beauty of racing, as much as it's the pain of racing, more the pain than anything, I think. But just all the variables you have that go into this sport, and you never know what to expect. It's just so unpredictable.
Absolutely. Sometimes it seems like anything can go your way, like you can do no wrong. Sometimes it feels like you can do no right, and you're almost to the point where it's like, wow, it feels like I'm being targeted by someone with all this bad luck.
Where's the voodoo doll?
Yeah. But that's the thing about racing. It ebbs and flows. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. You're going to have weeks where you have those bad breaks, those bad results, but there are weeks where you're like, oh my God, how did I pull that off? How did this work out in my favor? So unfortunately, this week is bad for Weeks, but maybe next week's will be better for Weeks.
Yes.
We'll see in a week.
And it's really hard too, though, like as a driver, I think, when you have that bad finish though at a track where you are expected to perform well, even by your peers, you're like, wow, okay, not like it's added pressure or anything, but hey, I have a really good shot at winning here today and really excited for it. And then when it kind of goes south, it's an extra bummer on top of everything.
Absolutely. Because you're looking forward to it so much, and then you get a bad result, and it just hurts your soul, man.
Pretty good battle here for about 6th, 7th, and 8th between Borges, Wadsworth, and Tyler Pop. These guys have been going at it for the past 10 laps or so, looking to settle it here before the last 20 laps expire. Borges pulling away a bit, and now you see, Pop in the wall. They're going to extend that gap.
Yeah, Pop not having the result I was expecting from him. Arguably he would have been my pick with what we saw from him last week. But yeah, just not having that run I think we would have expected after last week's near victory.
Time's running out for these guys. Don't know if anyone has anything for that 56 up front. He's got a 1.1 second lead over Daniel Gore, and then the gap even grows further back to Caleb Picumer. And then you got 4th place Scott Crump and 5th place Nick Massey. It's not seeing much movement, in regards to anyone having more pace than the leader.
Yeah, so far so good for the 56 right now.
Just calm, cool, and collected. As always in that driver's seat, we see that webcam every once in a while, and he always looks so composed there when he's in moments like this.
That he does.
Myself would be a nervous wreck, sweating bullets.
Oh, yeah. coming to 16 laps to go left in this Southern 250.
Another win on the season on the horizon here for the 56 of Tate Lytle. This would be, I believe, number 4, if I'm not mistaken. So still a bit of ways to go, but looking good at the moment.
Yep, so far so good. Clean and green for Tate Lytle. You see Crump and Pecumer continue to do battle for the last step on the podium here.
And that podium means a lot, even though NASCAR doesn't traditionally have a podium. Getting a top 3 is something else, you know, and regardless of the form of motorsport, probably a little few extra points at stake too.
Yeah, because you get to talk to us after the race.
That's exactly right.
And what's better than that?
And I don't believe we've had a chance to talk to Caleb or Scott here in the recent weeks, so big moment for both of them to try to get that top 3.
Yeah, and in fact, it's been a minute since Caleb Pecumer's been able to get a top 3 interview in any of the Elite Series, in fact.
Yeah, great run here tonight for that 59 car. Love that blue and pinkish purple paint scheme.
It just looks, there's something about it that just looks satisfying, you know?
Yeah. Great color combo. Nice graphic too on the side there on the skirt. It's a great looking car.
Yeah, you know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of the old Jazz design, that the water cup from the 90s, the white,
oh yeah,
blue and purple.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're going with.
Yeah.
You would find those at your nearby Miami Grill. Which actually, now that I say that, I don't know if Miami Grill has expanded outside of Miami.
It certainly isn't here in Ohio, I can tell you that much.
Quickly look that up.
Coming up on 10 to go. Laps ticking down quickly here. Gaps are expanding too. Not sure we're seeing much close action really through most of the field.
No, everything's really spread out. Everyone's just trying to hold on at this point. You know, almost 250 miles here at Darlington. That's a long time. This is a grueling race. You know, the thing I always like to think on is in 2014, DW was doing a thing where he was talking to the rookie drivers that year, and he was like, he held up an egg. He's like, this is your brain on Darlington, and throws it on the ground. And you know that there really isn't a better way to describe what it's like running this track than that, you know? Because
always one with his words. He was great.
Because like it takes so much focus.
Exactly.
Go on, Carlos.
Pecumer pulling away from that battle for third place is he heard us talking and he wants to talk to us.
Yeah, he put the pedal to the metal and put a good half-second gap there.
Yeah, fantastic job for Caleb Pecumer. Laps ticking down. Can he bring home the podium?
Tyler Fode just being put a lap down there by the leader Tate Lytle, so it's not a good end of the race here for the 40 car. I'm sure he's dealing with some sort of damage.
Borges was in the wall that whole front straightaway after exiting 4.
Oh.
Ooh, that's not going to be good for the right side.
And Norgard dealing with damage as well, trying to just limp it around to the finish, get the best he can out of this race. A lot of guys making contact now.
Yeah, the the space you're going to give to folks is starting to...
Across the line here with 6 laps remaining for Tate Lytle, as he's pulled away to a 2.5 plus a 10th, 1.6 seconds ahead of Daniel Gore, who, you know, was doing his best for the longest time, just trying to hold on and keep that gap minimal. As now with 6 laps remaining, the only thing Daniel Gore's going to need to maybe win this race is a caution, or maybe some lap traffic doing some really unspeakable things to Tate Lytle.
It would definitely take a miracle at this point, I think, but Tate Lytle looking real comfortable out front here.
Yeah, but what another fantastic run for Danny G. You know, he hasn't been in the elite racing he's all that long, but he's, you know, jumped out and immediately started getting great results. Oh, Phillips in the wall.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I almost spoke something into real life.
Right.
Yep.
I think Tate Lytle
performs so well at a track like this, though. Yeah.
Takes a lot of effort. Cameron Rich in the YouTube chat saying Danny G putting in the work. Also saying I kind of showed him how to drive this place. So Cameron Rich Daniel Gore can thank Cameron Rich for his 2nd place finish.
Yeah, Cam kind of giving him some help back after he talked about how much Daniel made him a better road course driver, which is still ridiculous to hear considering the fact that Cam Rich was already a stupid good road course driver as it was.
That's awesome to hear, though, that work between teammates like that.
For 3, coming to 2 laps to go from the track to Tough to Tame.
For Tate.
I mean, I'm sure it was tough. Lord knows this was, I'm sure, not an easy race. Darlington never is, even though, no matter how effortless Tate Lytle may be making it look. He's given it everything it's got, holding on to that 56 and keeping the speed in her. Talk about Tate Lytle. Yep, white flag, 1 lap to go from Darlington. An absolutely incredible drive from Tate Lytle once again. The leader in wins, going to try to get himself back into the lead of the points with what might end up being his 4th win of the season. He sails it off into turn 3 and 4 for the final time here at Darlington. Off of turn 4, coming to the checker flag, Tate Lytle will win the Southern 250 at Darlington. Daniel Gore will bring it home in 3rd, and Caleb Pecumer is going to hold on and bring home the top 3. Fantastic stuff from everyone tonight. What a race. Only 2 cautions at Darlington. Just an incredible drive from everyone in this 03 Cup Series lineup.
Between this
100%.
race and last week, they're averaging 1 caution a race.
Wow.
Yeah, wild.
2 of the toughest tracks as well.
Yeah, go on. Shout out to Matthew Weeks. After getting wrecked, still came back, finished 12th, last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, huge of him to be able to stay out on the track. And another well-deserved burnout for the 56 at Tate Lytle. Wow. Just making... I've now done 4 races, I believe, in this series, and Tate's won 3 of them, and this was the easiest one to me that he's made it look. And just impressive at such a difficult, demanding track. He really did a number on the field today.
No kidding, and that's saying something when you can say that about a Darlington race.
Yeah, congrats to Tate Lytle and all the top three, Daniel Gore and Caleb Pekumer. Great job. Scott Crump, had a great finish. Also, Nick Massey rounding out the top five. Just amazing runs by everyone here today.
All right. Hey, Victor, you want to take care of the hour of finishing results for tonight's event?
Yeah, you got it. So once again, we'll go over the top five. Our winner here tonight, Tate Lytle, by 2.2 seconds over Daniel Gore. Third place was Caleb Pekumer. Fourth, Scott Crump. And fifth, Nick Massey. Finishing sixth was Ryan Borges, followed by Justin Wadsworth, Tyler Pop, Ethan Stanley, and Johnny Thomas rounding out the top 10. Then you have Ryan Gavel, Matthew Weeks. That is your top 12, the cars on the lead lap. 13th on back, Leighton Norgard, Tyler Fody, David Westergreen. That's your top 15. Jacob Adams, 16th place, one lap down. Then 17th, we had David Phillips, 2 laps down, followed by Josh Clark in 18th. 19th, we had Frank Fody, who was also 3 laps down. And then 20th, Kyle Hanshaw, with Kyle Hanshaw racing 5 laps back from the lead. Connor Thompson was finishing 21st, followed by Trent Rohoff. We had Sam Boutwell finishing 23rd, Jesse Racimus in 24th, followed by Paul Schmallenberg, Gavin Hibbs, Cale Pocock, Andrew Hardcastle, Dylan Javier, Joey Bailey, Mark Robilas, Chris Wright, and Kendall Player, all with DNFs.
Right. Well, before we get to our interviews, I got an ad to play, courtesy of
of sellout crowds, 3 years of edge of your seat action, 3 years of jaw-dropping finishes. Worldwide Technology Raceway has rocked the world of NASCAR, and now NASCAR is giving us another reason to celebrate. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship Playoffs are coming Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Just when you thought the racing couldn't get any more intense, now every single lap matters. One wrong move could be the difference between elimination and being crowned the king. The Enjoy Illinois 300, the Confluence Music Festival, the NASCAR Cup Series Playoffs, and for the first time in 15 years, the NASCAR Xfinity Series on Saturday, September 6th. Don't be on the outside looking in. See history being made in your own backyard. Go to www.raceway.com for the hottest ticket of the year.
Alrighty, and we are back at Darlington, and it's time to talk to our top 3. First, we're going to talk to our third place runner of Caleb Pekumer. Caleb, James in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, awesome run tonight, Caleb. Top 3, your first top 3 finish in the 03 Cup Series, and man, I hate to say this, but it's been a little minute for you getting one of these interviews. So when was the last time we had the opportunity to talk to you up in the Elite broadcast booth?
Oh, it's definitely been a minute, man. I mean, I don't even know if I've ever. This is amazing for me because I don't think I've ever podiumed outside of ARCA. Maybe in trucks. But yeah, this is awesome, man. It's been a long time.
Yeah, and it's just a fantastic, what a place to do it at Darlington, and holding off someone like Scott Crump to bring home the top 3.
100%. 100%. I was talking to Daniel Gore before you guys brought me in here, and he said it perfectly. I mean, you're racing the track, not the other driver. So this is a grueling track. It's super tough. I think I just got super lucky with how it worked out. I mean, there was some guys that were quicker that ended up getting in wrecks, and I felt very consistent all night. So just stoked to be here for sure.
Yeah, and take us through, the strategy, having to figure out what even to do pit stop wise here at Darlington, and how the cautions really came in and messed that up too.
Yeah, we kind of were just we're kind of rolling around on our tire saving, fuel saving line, and we were really banking on that first caution not coming out and being able to two-stop the race. You know, getting over 60 laps of fuel. Obviously, that didn't work out, so it's unfortunate for Tyler. You know, that really messed him up, and he tried to stay out longer than everybody, and he was flying on fresh tires. Made a small mistake, but that was pretty much what we were going to do, is we were going to two-stop it on fuel.
Yeah, well, you know, it didn't work out for him, but, you know, things have worked out in his favor enough. He's won a race. It's now your time to shine, and shine you did with this fantastic result. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yes, of course, man. I mean, shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast, and you know, I love watching the 03 series broadcasts. They are just stellar to watch. And then shout out to all the Lake Norman guys. Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to Scott out there. Scott had a really good finish too. Dylan, and then well, of course, shout out to Solo Racing. You know, Mitch Haver, he runs Solo Racing, and he put this car in the field. So, yeah, I think that sums it up.
All right, well, we appreciate you, Caleb, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Of course. Have a good night, man.
All right, now to Victor with our second place runner.
All right, thanks, James. Yeah, we'll bring in Daniel Gore here, our second place, our runner-up in the race here today. Daniel Gore here. Victor in the booth, you got me?
I do.
Great, congratulations on second place. Amazing run. As I like to say, the best of the rest. Tate Lytle just a bit on a tear right now, so it's hard to really do much about that, I understand. But great job tonight. How you managed keeping it off the walls, though, and on the exit of 2, keeping it clean. You know, you're very impressive how you're able to do that. Walk us through how you managed to race this track here at Darlington.
I mean, it's just that race the track, not the drivers around you. I knew in that last run I was not going to catch Tate or have enough speed for him at the end, so I just figured I'll slot in behind him, follow what he does, and sure enough, that last stint there was my best of the night for tire saving. I felt like I kind of burnt it up a little bit in the second stint, but I did also short pit, so that might be part of it. But no, I'm super happy. I was just able to keep it off the wall and in one piece and get myself my best finish here in the Gen 4 Cup.
Yeah, it was a great run, and like you said, with that pit stop, it wasn't necessarily pit strategy, but being able to do an undercut in that situation definitely vaulted you through the field and got you some cleaner air, and you definitely put some space between you and between third place as well, which was great to see. You really had that pace and ability to pull away. Do you feel like you had anything for Tate Lytle, though? Like anything that you may have been able to do different, or where he was able to be quicker than you that you noticed, or kind of what was the difference there?
Not really anything, to be honest. He was definitely a lot more comfortable than I was in 1 and 2. I said, this is only like my third ever race at this track, like on the service period, so I'm still learning it.
And that's amazing in itself. Say it's only your third race. That's an incredible job here tonight, Daniel. I'm just blown away by that, because this track's insanely difficult. I'm sure as you're very aware now after about 250 miles, but second's an amazing result, something to be very proud of. Again, like I said, best of the rest. Congrats again, and give us some shout outs, though, anyone you'd like to thank, or just say thank you to.
I want to thank my team, South Shore Racing, D West, Bojo. He wasn't racing, but obviously, him, he paints all our cars, and he was hanging out with us while we raced, so thanks to all those guys. Jordan Kennington, he's one of my best buds. He always watches me race, no matter what league it is or what series it is, so I know he's watching, so I want to thank him. And you guys, you put it on for us to watch, so I want to thank you guys.
Awesome, and great job again, Daniel. Love having the fans in the chat rooting you on. That was a great finish for them tonight, too, to be able to cheer for you. So hopefully see you again here next week, and great finish, and have a great rest of your evening, man.
Thanks.
All right, back to James here with the winner of the race.
Alrighty. Tate, James in the booth, you got a copy.
Loud and clear.
Well, another dominant performance, another fantastic win. First of all, you weren't involved in any major incident there in the early part of the race. Did you think you were going to win because of that, since your trap card wasn't activated?
Yeah, I don't know if tonight would have been the night to do that. It was not really easy to pass. I was going to make a couple passes there early on, just with circumstance. I don't think I was the best car tonight. I think I was probably fixing to run third to Wadsworth and Weeks, and Fody was fast too before he got his damage. But the 88 kind of cleaned out the 11 and the 6 and made my job pretty easy that last 50-60 laps.
Yeah, you were able to just focus forward and just take care of the car and tires. How key is that at a place like Darlington that's like the track when it comes to eating your tires?
I mean, I was running a lot faster at the end of that last run than I was that the 60 lap run we did earlier in the race. I don't know if it was track condition. It might have been a little track condition, but I mean, 0.6 faster at the end of a run is a lot. And I was just riding that last run and was pushing the run prior. So just shows you how important it is to save and how much faster I probably would have been at the end of that first run had I saved. At least the way I did. I thought I was saving, but I don't really know what the difference was early on in that run, lap time wise, but it must have been fairly significant. But yeah, I just was trying to manage that gap with Gore there at the end of the race, just keep him far enough back to where he wasn't going to have an opportunity to throw a slider if I messed up a corner exit somewhere. And just kind of managed it, left enough fuel in it for a burnout. And I think that's 4 wins now in the season, and Fody kind of had a rough night, so it's going to be a good points night for us. Hopefully we could make all the races coming in and have a shot at the championship. I really enjoy riding this car.
Yeah, what are your thoughts here on the early part of the season? As I think we're about like a third of the way through or something like that.
I mean, I might be biased just because I'm running so well in the series, but I feel like this is Elite's best series. We've been fairly green. Everyone kind of gives and takes just because you kind of have to. And I think I see some big things coming for this series in the future, and hopefully me and Johnny and Chad can work together and really make this what it deserves to be. But before you kick me out of here, I got to shout out Brett. Wednesday's gone by. Car's always looking pretty sweet out there. Shout out Dad, Jack and Louise and the fam if they're still watching, which I never really know. They probably still are. Dad's pretty committed to watching, and yeah, hopefully we can find a way to be here next week and try and get another checkered flag.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, Tate, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Sounds good. I'm having myself a victory brew. Shout out to Colorado Kool-Aid.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Well, what an incredible night of racing there. What are your final thoughts there, Vic?
Oh, amazing racing. I mean, not what I expected for Darlington, but in a way, I think that's a good thing. So it wasn't what I expected with a lot of attrition. We had some cars, obviously out of the race, but only 2 cautions and just another great run by Tate Lytle. I just love watching that guy drive. He's really got something going on right now. He's on a hell of a run here in the series, and can't wait to see what happens next week at Dover. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely cannot wait for that. This incredible season we're on is gonna continue. Well, I think on that note, it's time for us to get the heck on out of here. For my broadcast partners, Victor Aldrich and Carlos Acosta, I'm James Watson, bidding you adieu from Darlington.